Hello humans, it's B Kira here. Assassins. Quick, silent, and mysterious. They move in the dark and quickly dispatch their targets and goes back in the dark without anyone batting an eye. Often taking out their targets in a single move, assassins send out dark aura that moves so silently that even in the open, no one will know who it is nor see the target getting taken out. In today's video, we'll be discussing some of the best assassin's characters in all of anime. What if a person who is super introverted and shy turns out to be a cold-blooded assassin? Yumiya Rako in A Certain Scientific Railgun is the one. A student of private Shidare Zakura Academy, she is introduced as a shy girl that easily stutters her words and has dreams of becoming the popular girl at her school and one day becoming an idol. Because of her shy personality, she's usually seen by herself with not a lot of friends around her. While seeming innocent, her job as sniper for school shows the cold side of her. Her main weapon is the sniper rifle. The rifle is hidden in her closet and attached to her bodysuit, and is designed in such a way that she can disassemble and reassemble the gun by bending or straightening her arm. She can easily use her gun out in the open as the bullets she uses are not made of gunpowder but is a CO2 bullet, which makes a quieter sound. In the anime, there are characters with Esper powers, but she was born with none. Her Esper power level is 0, but her observation and physical strengths make up for it. Her sense of smell is especially good as she knows what the targets were doing and where they went just with a small scent of blood. Since she does not have any Esper powers but rely on her physical strength and gun, she keeps a mid or close distance between her and the target to make sure that her strengths are most effective. With that, she is seen chasing around Frenda, avoiding traps and continuously chasing her until Frenda is cornered. As an assassin, it seems odd that she goes around revealing her face. While she does have the qualities to handle her own in close combat, there are two clear weaknesses to her. First is that she doesn't kill her targets right away but continues to chase them and slowly kill them off. Because of that, there are times she doesn't finish off a target fast enough and gets injured. Another is that her sense of smell is not a special ability but her physical trait. Because of this, once her nose gets damaged, she cannot effectively use her physical strength. In the fight against Frenda, Yumiya had an explosive blow-up in her mouth and she blew up half of her face and had to get it replaced with machine parts. From this, Yumiya surprisingly was not mad but saw this as a form of friendly rivalry and was happy that Frenda didn't take it easy. Red hair, short, and with a soft-spoken personality, Himura Kenshin gives the impression of a good and innocent kid. But he's a ruthless assassin. Having inherited the hit-and-miss Roguru sword style, Kenshin's skills at age 14 allowed him to become an elite assassin for the government. While infiltrating pro-shogunate Onmitsu group Yaminobu, he alone managed to kill all of the members in the group, which showed his talent as a swordsman. On top of that, as time went on, his skills became rusty compared to before, but he still managed to even with Saito Hajime. Himura's strength is his lightning fast speed. While holding out his sword, he's incredibly agile and has the leaping power to add on to it. His speed is so fast that it would seem like he would blink and disappear and then reappear. Himura's special move, Flash of the Heavenly Soaring Dragon, connects two fast attacks. Since the speed of the move is so fast, the first step of the move momentarily creates an instantaneous acceleration to the forward charge as well as the sword throw. This makes their balance collapse and either they get hit by Himura's second attack or their attack doesn't connect because of their collapsed balance. In anime, assassin and ninja have become synonymous with one another. This character is Speed O Sound Sonic. Sonic has become popular amongst fans for his comic relief character of One Punch Man and continues to challenge Saitama while being one of the weakest villains in the anime. He accepts any challenge from anyone and self-proclaimed strongest ninja has incredible speed like his name suggests. He is by far one of the fastest characters in the anime, and one fan in particular managed to measure his speed and it came out to be 93,700,000,000. With this speed and with many tactics and skills, he carries out a lot of missions. His first introduction to the enemy, he was seen going against Paradisers and their fully suited armor from the neck down. Knowing this, he took down all of the other members of the group by strictly aiming at their necks and against the leader, Hammerhead. He quickly dodged the attacks and hit him with the shuriken in the back of the head. Even against Deep Sea King, who even the well-respected S-Class hero Genos had trouble with, Sonic was seen easily dodging Deep Sea King's attacks and causing great damage to the monster. To go along with his speed, he also has great physical strength, and as long as the opponent is not strong as Saitama, he was never shown defeated in a battle. Because his first battle against Saitama was so short, Saitama remembers Sonic as Jack-O-Lantern Panic, and further on he becomes a laughingstock to the other heroes such as Genos. In the Fate series, the class of assassins introduced are one of the 4 Cavalier classes among the 7 standard servant classes. All of them share a common name, with each one of them having a skull mask to hide their faces. The strongest assassin out of all of them is the first Hassan, also the king of all of Hassan, Old Man of the Mountain, or simply referred to as King Hassan. King Hassan is one of the 7 grand servants and is summoned by the counterforce in order to prevent the extinction of mankind beast. From the visual, King Hassan doesn't fit the prototypical assassin build but looks more like a knight with his heavy armor and his big sword. Since he's the first Hassan, all of the other Hassans that came after him are feared by him and greatly respect his powers. He holds a big sword that can kill an enemy just by the slightest touch of the sword and has great skills as an assassin. In one instance, Ozymandias was cut by him while trying to inspect the temple, and because of the cut, he was not able to use his hands at all. Another instance is when he granted Tiamat the concept of death by downgrading her own saint graph into that of a regular servant. This allowed him to turn the tide in the battle and ultimately won. First Hassan have always been popular amongst fans as his character design is done very well. But in episode 20 of the anime, he's shown biting Lamu and walking on 4 legs, which caused controversy over the design of his character. Captain of the 2nd Division in the Gotei 13 of Soul Society, Sui Feng deals with execution, sentencing, spying, and the duty of a guard. Just looking at their qualities, Sui Feng is even faster than the Arrancar arc's final boss Sosuke Aizen. She uses a Zanpakuto as her primary weapon, and this allows her to be very agile and get right up on her target very quickly. Zanpakuto usually has a length of 40 to 50 cm, but once she activates her Suzumebachi, she turns her sword into a dagger-like weapon, which further shortens her weapon, but this allows her to be even more agile in her attacks. One attack in particular is the Nigeki Kezatsu, which has 2 attacks where the first one is just dashing through the target and physically cutting through the target. The second part of the attack leaves a butterfly-shaped stamp on the same spot, which inevitably kills the target. She can further transform her weapon, which would turn into a missile-like weapon called Bankai, and she uses this to have a ranged attack. While her weapons make it seem like she has no weakness, one of her biggest weaknesses is that once she transforms her weapon into Shikai, she must go right up to her enemy, putting herself in great danger. As for the Bankai, the fact that she must change from a melee weapon into a ranged weapon is another disadvantage, but just firing one missile puts great amount of stress on her body, and she can only fire one missile every 4 days. And another thing is that the missile is just strong overall, but her Shikai form, if she hits the right spot, it has a 100% chance of taking out the enemy, so there are comments that Shikai is the preferred weapon of choice, since Bankai is not as effective. In today's video, we introduced some of the best assassins in all of anime. There are certain characters that fit the image of a typical assassin, but some other ones are knight-like, showing their demeanor up front. Which assassin character did you guys like the most?